Hey guys, and welcome to Kudani, and I want to show you a quick overview of the Kudani software platform, which is a complete content marketing platform that is geared up for you to find interesting content to curate, and also helps you get backlinks and viral bait, and everything around real ethical free traffic. Okay, so let me just take you through this interface so you know exactly where we're coming from. So when you load it up, basically you've got publish, posts, graphics, opportunities, and contacts. I'll come to those in a second. And down the left-hand side here, we've got the feeds, we've got snippets, we've got a search engine, we've got a keyword tool, and we've got a whole template database for you to create inspiring content. So basically, if I just start at the keywords, which is where most people start when they want to create something, then you can literally type in any keyword you like. So let's type in dog training. Why not? And of course, you can search over Google, Amazon, Bing, eBay, all the other traditional search engines. But if you search Google, it will give you an indication of volume as that comes in. And what I can do is highlight those keywords, click on the trends, and so I can identify straight away whether something is, a declining keyword or a keyword that's actually going up in interest. Okay, so dog training certification could be like quite a cool keyword. So I can save that and or copy that straight into my editor so I can look at that a little bit later. And in fact, maybe I'll write an article about that. But then what I could do is take that and go into the search engine, and I can then search over images. I can search for over blogs. I can search news. I can search over my feeds. I can search for videos. I can even search over Twitter, and anything that comes in. So let's say these are, what are these, news or blogs? I can actually look at them. I can even pull in the content into a browser, and see what the actual end content is, what it actually looks like. Okay, and I literally click on this this little cloud symbol, and the content just appears. So basically, and again, if I want to curate from that or store it or whatever, I can just highlight it. I can, curate straight into my editor, and again, it will just pull the appropriate link. I can think, oh, that might be an interesting snippet of content, so I could actually just save that. As good content, and save that maybe in my dog training project, which I'll come to in a second. Okay, and I think you can see the search is really, really powerful. But what I really like is the snippets, and this is where you can actually save bits of content that you might find on the web, keywords, everything, and organize everything around a project. Okay, so you've got everything to post to your blog. It is all stored in one place straight away. Okay, and then on an ongoing basis, you literally use the feeds, and here there's a whole load of feeds preloaded, but you can customize these. If you used any feed reader, it'll also import Google Feeds, and the content just comes in at the top here, and it pulls in a summary of the content, like any feed reader, and again, if you click on the little cloud symbol, it'll pull in the full content, if you want to read it or curate from it as well. So that's basically all about the curation aspects of searching for keywords, searching for content, pulling in content from your feeds. But what's really good as well is a lot of people get stuck, with what to blog about and what to write about and put on their sites. So there's this database called templates, where we've got things like interesting titles, or titles actually capture attention. So for example, 3 something lessons that you can benefit from today. Okay, and if you double click that, it goes straight into your title here. So then all you need to do is put in your keyword, so 3 dog certification. In fact, I could have just pasted that in, but you can see that. And then if I'm pasting or publishing to Facebook, then I can also do use Facebook questions, and these are like proven questions that people use to increase engagement. Okay, and I could just again double click on those and they go into my post editor. And there's a few databases here that are more coming. One is like famous quotes, for example. So if I'm looking for something inspiring about success or something, then all the famous people that have mentioned anything to do with success. For example, right, there we go, Ralph Walden. Character is what can do without success. Doesn't actually make sense, but let's try this one. Life is a succession of lessons. Blah, blah, blah. Brilliant. Okay, so and then you just again double click on that, go straight into the editor. Okay, and then what you could do then is almost build up a whole category, a calendar of things to write about. So you can think, right, so this day I'll write about this. This day I'll do the 5 benefits post. This day I'll do 5 reviews of something. And what, basically build your posts, and then you can just post those straight out to your blogs. You just choose a blog and then post it out. You can also post to Facebook as well and select a page and post it out to there as well. So that's like the content area. Once you've done some posts, then they're all stored in here. So all the posts that go out to your blogs are stored here. So if I wanted to, for example, I had this one published, I want to edit it back, I click on edit and it pulls that whole post back into the editor for me so I can make changes. And what it will also do is do the social tracking for me. So it will track the page rank, it will track whether it's been shared, Facebook, it's been tweeted, whether it's on Google plus Wand. And then I can also look at my competitors as well and see whether their sites have got some social metrics, and of course they've got plenty there. So so that's like the post tracking and metrics section. And then on the graphics section, this is where you can create infographics for publishing, and I've already started one here. But essentially, all you need to do is drag and drop different images and text, and literally like this. And so if I wanted to create some text, then I can create a headline, and let's do so 78% of dog owners live in the US. I just made that up, but let's put that there. Let's resize it a little bit. There we go. And of course, all the usual things that you'd expect. So I can change the color and so on. That's nice. And then save that down, and I can save that. That's saved to my disk. And then, of course, I can then publish that out to Facebook or onto my blog, and then share that out. Okay. Opportunities is where I can look for different guest posting opportunities. So I can type in my keyword and look for opportunities for where people are actually looking for guest posters. And then pulls back the contact details, pulls back their traffic ranking, so I can tell whether the blog is actually worth creating a guest post for and contacting and going through all that hassle, which is very, very important for people who are into guest blogging, guest posting. And it can even search for links as well. So we've got all the search patterns for looking for comment links, for directories, for different auto-approved posts, all that sort of stuff is all there, and it can check all the contact details for the blogs. And when you find or establish a contact with someone who owns a blog or any sort of online contact, then you can save that into a contacts database, which we've got here. And literally all the contact details are all saved. You can make notes, you can store your keywords against them, and this is really, really useful for people to maintain the contact and build a relationship with them. So in a nutshell, that's Kudani, and you can see how comprehensive that is, and you cannot fail to get stuck for generating content, for getting traffic that's actually authoritative because you're doing proper curation and you're linking out, And then you're also monitoring the metrics. You can post to Facebook, and you can also create link bait or different viral images so that that goes out and create links back to your site. And of course, you can actually find real link opportunities via guest posting or comment links, and of course manage and store all your contacts. I think you can see that's pretty powerful, and that's Kudani.